Yo, it's your man MAS. I'm back with another one. Alright, so this time around we're doing something a little bit different. So it's kind of like a reaction video, not quite live, but here's the thing. The minute I watched the first episode of Solo Leveling, right? I'm not about to jump on a video recorder and start, like, that's not, like, I enjoy anime in my free time, right? So maybe there's gonna come a point where I am just gonna be doing like live videos in the moment. For the most part, I watch anime for leisure, free time. So most of the time, I'm chilling with family, maybe friends. Not really watching anime, for like work, if that makes sense. Like this is something I truly enjoy. So the chance of me doing live videos is probably in the near future, but not like the minute I watch the episode, I'm not gonna jump right on a video recorder, right? But that's me. So this is my semi-live reaction of Solo Leveling. The Solo Leveling dropped yesterday, I think January 6th. So this is my live reaction to the first episode. All right, Solo Leveling live reaction, and off the bat, it's the story of the underdog. Just me basing it off of the first episode. First episode, Solo Leveling live reaction. It's the story of the underdog, right? Very different from like a typical kind of isekai. I wouldn't call this an isekai, but basically, my man's getting it from the mud. All right, he got to get it from the mud. All right, it's not like you see a lot of those, I would say, isekai center animes where adventurers, magic, the whole 9 yards. All right, this one has like a semblance of a story where, which I kind of find very refreshing. Semblance of a story. I guess it was like these demon gates that were opening, and then only certain people have special powers, and the people who have certain special powers were ranked, right? From like the S class hunters to the lowest class hunters. All right, and your boy, you already know where your boy is at. Your boy is the low of the low. He gotta go get it. He getting it from the mud. He gets no respect. He's that kind of hunter. All right. But no, like the thing I liked about it is that at least like that first episode, he's not like your typical hero. So it's like it's an actual job, where it's like, hey, like they want to use the magic material as an energy source, and the only way to get that magic material that's like a revolutionary energy source is like to kill these monsters. So I it's like an adventurer's guild, but like for actual purpose. A lot of the other anime, it's like an adventurer's guild, but it's like these niggas ain't doing nothing. They're pretty much like lollygaggers. It's like they're doing it for fun. This feels like an actual job. That's the first takeaway and difference I'm gonna say for this anime compared to other animes, right? It feels like there's actual purpose for being in a quote unquote adventurer's guild or whatever you want to call it, right? And then the character himself, he's different. I mean, he's not like those leisure anime characters where, again, a lot of lollygagging, a lot of procrastinating, a lot of like, like lip service, right? This guy is like, yo, I got to get my sister to college. I got to step up for my father. I got to go get it, all right? The mentality, right? The mentality is like, yo, I got to eat, right? If you ever watched any drug dealer show, right? Crime mob show, like Power, like my man got to go get it. Nobody's going to get it for him. He got to go get it. So there's a point in that episode where, they was like, yo, the votes are even. Because they finished the first dungeon, then there's an opportunity for like another dungeon, right? The hidden dungeon within a dungeon, never a good idea. And they're like, all right, we're not sure if we're going to go in. We're going to leave it to the vote. The votes were split, and the last vote was up to him. He thought to himself, and he was like, all right, if the vote is up to me, I'm clearly like the weakest. I mean, like the blade I was using broke. I get stabbed up every other mission. Maybe this isn't something I want to do. But then he thought about it. It's like, yo, I've been hustling my whole life. All right, he didn't say that in the first episode, but his mentality was basically, yo, I've been hustling my whole life. I got to get my sister through college. I got to be the father. You know what? I got to go get it. All right, no matter how weak you got to respect that mentality. No matter how weak I am, I got to go get it. And that's what he made the decision for the group. So like, he's like, nah, we going. Everybody was like, yo, you sure? You weak. He's like, nah, we going. I gotta go get it. As long as Shorty's here is healing me, I gotta go get it. Right? That's what he's basically saying. You gotta go get it. So I'm just like, you gotta respect that mentality. Of course, I'm positive the show is gonna get different where, he does level up, aka Solo Leveling, right? But that first episode, it was very humble beginnings. It definitely like a very grindy, a grind mentality, a hustler's mentality. It was like, yo, like nobody's gonna get it for him. He gotta be the one to step up. No matter how weak he is, he keeps trying. And I like that kind of character analysis versus a lot of other anime, whereas like they're just like humble, but they don't have. I feel like some animes, yeah, they do have something to fight for, but it's very like they got a secret power or something. Like they've always had it, if that makes sense. Like they were always gifted. This guy, at least from the first episode, he doesn't seem like he's gifted. I mean, he seems like, what was it? I made a previous video in terms of Jujutsu Kaisen, like Gojo versus what you call it, the main villain, you know, like talent versus hard work. So this guy seems like hard work, right? No talent, hard work, but still putting himself out there because he got to go get it. So that's the first and foremost different for compared to other anime shows. This one, at least like starting off, seems really different, which I really enjoyed. Like just take it away from the norm. You know what I mean? So that was like the first point of that first episode that I really liked. The first in the beginning, I was like, all right, this seems like the standard, you know, kind of Isekai Adventures Guild, the recipe, but then they gave an explanation, and I think that was for the most part why. The beginning part, even though it seemed kind of kiddie, I feel like a lot of it was explanation. They want to take that time to explain the world, explain the situation, explain the purposes of these hunters, which that part I really like. So it's like people doing stuff for a purpose, right? Not just to be Adventurers Guild forever, just cause. All right. So that's the first and foremost, right? Let me see what else I got on my show notes. All right. So yeah, and of course, like the main character, he's a go-getter. All right, closed mouths don't get fed. All right, so that's his mentality. But the thing about the show that you're probably going to see all these other reaction videos talk about, and they're not lying. All right, so he's not the real MVP. All right, the real MVP of the show, the real prize. You know, it was like that. You know, statement in relationships like, yo, nah, I'm the prize, or she's the prize. Nah, she's the prize. All right. That first episode, the real MVP is Shorty that did the somersaults. She's the prize. All right. And I promise you, if they haven't, now I'm going to be the one to talk about it. I feel like other people are going to be talking about it. She made the episode. Everybody's going to be talking about that somersault. The somersault and the cheeks. The somersault and the cheeks. And here's the thing about Solo Leveling. Like, they do a lot of close-up scenes like that. At least from the Manhwa that I watched or read, right? So it's kind of Korean based, at least from what I believe. If I'm wrong, it's nothing new. I've been wrong on a lot of stuff, but whatchamacallit? Because not quite a manga. So it's very famous with, you know, Korean culture like manhwas, where it's like it's colored, essentially like comics, but Korean's versions of comics. But they do a lot of scenes where it's like a lot of close-ups. My friend, when I watched it, and my eyes opened up like, what? Alright, it's like the somersault, like it wasn't no regular somersault. Like the shorty, I think she's like an S rank or something, but it wasn't no regular somersault. She did a somersault, and that close up, that close up on the cheeks, that's the reaction. That's the video. That has to be done. A lot of people are going. The reaction on the cheeks. I was like, why are you doing such a close up on the somersault? Like what? I was like, yo, she's the MVP. She made the first episode. If they ever wanted something to be trending on a first episode or just like a focus, that took it away. But here's the thing, right? The episode one was so good in itself. Like I don't think they really needed that. So episode one was solid. It may have been slow in the beginning, but I promise you towards the end, it definitely kicked up, and it definitely was like it wasn't traditional. So I guess the thing that I'm kind of getting jaded with is like I'm so used to like traditional. Mundane anime storytelling plots, all that stuff. Hence is why I created my own anime. All right, so definitely check out in the description below. But this one seems refreshing, and there's only a few that do that. Right, there's only a few anime that like pushes the storytelling in a not so traditional way. And I give a comparison to it afterwards, but the somersault I feel like was like kind of like icing on the cake, where it's like if they wanted like a trending moment, something to catch attention for the first episode, that somersault did it. She the MVP. She's what everybody should be talking about. All right. Yeah, she's the prize. All right. I put it like this. After I saw that somersault, I was sold on the anime. I was like, if it's going to be close-ups like that, All right, I'm in. I'm in. All right. But let me see what else I got on my show notes. All right. So this part of the show was like, I won't say obvious, but I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you ain't have no business being there? Like you ain't got no business being there. That's what happened. All right. So they get to I guess the secret boss room. And here's the thing, like, if you ever get to the secret boss room, you're probably not supposed to be there. Right? In any kind of genre. The most like the genre that I'm most familiar with is probably video games. So like if you ever played Elden Ring, all right? Ever played Elden Ring, ever played Pokemon, those are like the two favorite ones for me, right? I get to Elden Ring, I struggle to get to the boss room. Right? Keep this in mind. I struggle to get to the boss room. At some point, I keep telling myself, I probably have no business finding this boss because I had so much trouble with their lackeys. I struggled to get to the boss room. The main character got smacked up every step of the way. He ain't got no business being there, but he's a go-getter. So that's not, don't worry about him. Closed mouths don't get fed. He gonna go anyway, all right? He gonna go anyway. But for the rest of us standard regular folks, yes, I'm a standard regular folk, I ain't got no business being there. But part of me is like, the difference between this and real life is like you can save. So I'm like, all right, well, I can save it. So let me see how hard it's gonna be. The Elden Ring boss. So Elden Ring, you go through the fog and you ain't got no business being there. You ain't got no business being there. I had no business being there. Got smacked up to oblivion. No business being there. Same thing at a Pokemon gym, right? I enter the Pokemon gym, like, hey, my Pokemon are severely under level, but I'm here. It's a fire type gym. I got nothing but level 2 grass types. I'm here, but let me try my luck. And I barely scraped through the lackeys. Yeah, the regular trainers, y'all lackeys, all right? Unless you're like an elite trainer, but most of you guys are lackeys in the Pokemon games. So like you struggle through the trainers, the lackeys, and I finally get to the gym leader. And my level 1 grass type is like maybe like a level 2 or like 2 HP. I'm like, yeah, I ain't got no business fighting this person. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see how it goes. So I'm gonna save the game, and then I play him, and like, bro, this dude got fully level evolved Charizards. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like, you have no business being there. I say all those comparisons to say that's what happened when they entered the boss room. They had no business being there. They had no business being there, and it showed. People, it was what you call it. It was like a school shoot. It was a massacre. They had no business being there. All right, my man's a go-getter. But here's the bad thing about go-getters, and you see this in every drug dealing TV show, movie I've seen. Right, there comes a price. So if you're willing to pay the price, that means it's a grimy game. So it's fast money, fast problems. Fast money, fast problems. So that's how it was when they entered that room. He's hoping to get fast rewards, but he's getting some messy, fast problems because people are getting heads chopped, lasered, and it's bad. It's bad. I think he realized at some point in the episode he's going to die. But like I said, that was the different appeal of this anime compared to other animes. Like, it felt like the story of the underdog, but like told properly, if that makes sense. Like told in a really good way. So, I mean, that's my whole takeaway from that. I mean, the only other thing I'm going to touch on is like, at least Solo Leveling episode 1, general reaction. I loved it a lot. Contrary to like what I initially thought. I was like, all right, like this might just be like another overhyped anime. Because, I didn't really read the manhwa. I know how popular it is. But I was like, all right, let me see what the master are into. But the first episode I was definitely really impressed. The beginning was like a little bit slow, but I definitely became really impressed. But the closest I can compare it to in terms of other animes is Goblin Slayer. All right, so if you ever watched Goblin Slayer, or if you haven't, watch it. If you like this first episode of Solo Leveling and you're looking for a similar feeling, it might be a little bit rated R. Just keep that in mind. All right, not as rated R has that somersault. I'm gonna put it out there, but yeah, Goblin Slayer is bad. So warning, if you watch it and you get upset, it's bad. But it reminded me of that. So if you watch the first episode of Goblin Slayer, it gives you the first episode of Solo Leveling gives you that vibe. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, when you're watching Solo Leveling, and unless you were to watch Goblin Slayer, you're gonna get that vibe. Or you're thinking about watching Solo Leveling and you watch Goblin Slayer, it's probably gonna be that vibe. Or you haven't watched Goblin Slayer, you love Solo Leveling, watch Goblin Slayer. It'll just as equally impress you, and it's about fucking goblins. But yeah, man, that's my reaction video for episode 1. I'm assuming episode 2 is gonna get crazy. I'm assuming episode 2, the goal getter turns into the drug kingpin. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know what's gonna happen. All right, but yo, this your man MAS. I'm out. Solo Leveling reaction video episode 1. Who's the real MVP? All right. Again, check out my content below. I'm gonna see you guys next time.